Welcome to Medica Wellness Studio. I'm Angelika Maria Koch with your educational videos about how to live optimal health and vibrant well-being as I continue to guide you step by step through an amazing and life-transformative process, empowering you to connect with your body and soul in a completely new way again. So today let's continue with part 2 of the second chakra called SWADHISTHANA, or the cradle of your creativity, by taking a look at how we can heal common ailments which are related to this chakra. As I have already spoken about the mental and emotional aspects and core lesson of the second chakra in my last video with the theme, as I honor myself, I honor you, from the physical perspective, when the imbalance occurs in the second chakra, the organs that are most affected are the sex-related organs. And these organs, from the uterus, the ovaries, fallopian tubes in the females, and in the males, the testes and the prostate gland, they're really supplied with a very rich vascular network, so there's a lot of blood going through, and a powerful nerve plexus that arises from the lowest autonomic nerve plexus, the sacral plexus. So we have a lot of nerves and a lot of energy of blood going through. Therefore, if there is a long-term lack of energy in the second chakra, we often see impotence, infertility, or lack of libido. But the most common ailments in this chakra in the females are menstrual irregularities, blocked fallopian tubes, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, menopausal symptoms, and in the males we have maybe benign enlarged prostate gland or prostatitis, which is the inflamed prostate gland, just to mention a few gynecological ailments. So today let's explore how effectively we can heal with natural therapeutic tools common ailments like heavy periods and menopausal symptoms in the women, and benign enlarged prostate gland in the males. But remember, as this theme of the second chakra embodies to honor oneself first and then the other, of course it is of no surprise today that our organs of creativity and self-love are really expressing this internal conflict. The second chakra is so affected today. So especially during these phases in our lives where the cellular and the hormonal changes are addressed now, in females and in males, please don't forget the males have it too. The second chakra undoubtedly will speak to us in its sweet, but also in its very direct language in the form of physical symptoms. So what is the essence of menopause, or let's better say the pause in your life, which requests from you to investigate that which doesn't serve in your life anymore, and is therefore in need to be left behind, and which dormant aspects of yourself are now wanting and yearning to come forth and wanting to be seen and wanting to be expressed in a very new way. So the question here is, who are you now? Who am I now? And not the person who I have been 10 years ago. The transition from the old, so to say, to the new you, for most of us, can be very intense and often physically uncomfortable. Especially if the female past generations in the female, like your mother, maybe experienced a very challenging menopause, you might be affected as well. But how you experience this transition has a lot to do with your lifestyle, your diet, but also your mental and emotional attitude in relationship to change. Menopause is a natural and an inevitable stage in every woman's life and man's life. Please don't suppress it. Start to embrace it. The term menopause can describe any of the hormonal changes a woman goes through while she stops menstruating, and definitely marks the end of the reproductive period. There are usually 4 stages. So during the premenopause, you may experience abdominal cramps, irritability, mood swings, maybe nausea even. But then it goes into the perimenopause, and this is the stage where we have these fluctuating menstrual cycles coming up. And yes, here it maybe starts the hot flushes, the night sweats, the mood changes, the vaginal dryness, the low libido, the skin rashes may be coming up by then. And then it goes into the menopause, that is the stage where the menstrual bleeding starts to decrease and even stop. But again, the symptoms are, mood swings, depression, insomnia, rashes, skin rashes, horrible night sweats maybe. It's like the hot flushes day and night. So it's a very uncomfortable period, followed by the postmenopausal period, which heralds other symptoms, often with coronary artery diseases or osteoporosis or even urinary tract infections. So this whole span of change can take years, and of course you need help. So my personal advice to you is, and I speak here from my heart, if you can avoid it, please do not use hormone replacement therapy. The reason why I feel so strongly about it, because I observed my own mother dying of it. My mother was literally the recipient of today's drug side effects, and in this case there is enough scientific research today educating us that when you take hormone replacement therapy longer than 5 years, there's a strong affinity for breast and ovarian cancer. My mother died in a very cruel way as a result of hormone replacement therapy, and of course the adjacent chemotherapy session trying to heal her cancer, but only really killing her body. So please try to find other sources. Mother Nature offers us a wonderful plate of life-sustaining food and effective and gentle herbs, which not only will heal the common physical symptoms, but also will gently guide us back to this new you, to this new him on herself, which you certainly cannot get with chemical synthesized medication. So let's have a look at some of the lifestyle changes which are so important. When trying to balance hormone and reduce menopausal symptoms, 2 things are important in the females and the males. You want essential minerals and you want healthy fats. Now eliminate your processed food and focus more on a clean diet. Right? Not only it will bring down the excess weight, but it also invigorates you with fresh energy which you need. Now I'm talking here about, of course, fresh organic veggies and fruits, but also a lot of fibers we want at this time. So we want nuts, we want seeds, legumes, beans. If you eat grains, ancient grains, quinoa would be good, avocado, and of course the veggies and the fruits. Definitely amp up your omega-3 fats in the form of flaxseed oil and fish oil, because these oils quench the inflammatory process, the cellular process within the body, but also have a really beneficial effect on your mental and emotional aspects like depression. Now you might think, God, I don't want to bring in more fats because they maybe have more calories like proteins and carbs, but they're so important because they're actually the building blocks for your hormone production. So, and as I said, they keep the inflammation low and they boost your metabolism. We want unrefined oils, and because they provide vitamin E, which is really essential here, because it regulates the estrogen production. Now look for virgin coconut oil, palm oil, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, of course that's my favorite, and flaxseed oil. Other sources would be, of course, avocado, coconut milk, nut seeds, and wild seafood. But here you have to be careful that you're not having a bucket full of toxins. But you also want to bring in probiotics, which is really a healthy bacteria for your digestive system, because they can improve your production and regulation of key hormones, particularly insulin and leptin. And let me bring here little side thoughts about leptin, because it's very important here. Your weight gain during menopause might have little to do with your diet, particularly if you already have a healthy diet, but maybe has everything to do with this protein leptin. So what is that? Now, leptin is a protein that's made in the fat cells, and it circulates in your bloodstream and then it goes into your brain. And there the protein tells the brain that you have now enough energy stored in your fat cells and you can now use that for metabolic processes. So it has this internal regulation of, hey, I'm done with food, or yes, I need more food. But you also maybe remember that in the previous videos I often talk about the vagus nerve, particularly in connection to medical meditation kriyas, which are so effective here. Now, the vagus nerve is our literally life-giving nerve, which connects our digestive system to the brain. And we have two brains. It's the digestive system and our actual brain. And these practices not only will influence and nurture and rebalance these vagus nerves, but it will set you on a better spiritual path as well. And it is a very physical process first with the vagus nerve, but it influences everything within the body. So every single thing in the vagus nerve does is designed to make us take up extra energy and to store it in our fat cells. Why? Because that generates more leptin, and you need more leptin so it can re-establish its personal leptin threshold. So there's this indirect, beautiful communication going on between your digestive system, the vagus nerve, and your brain. Now here I suggest to introduce more sources like yogurt and fermented veggies like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, and all cultured fermented foods, and definitely bring in more water. You drink more water during that time. I also suggest to cut out conventional meat and poultry, because usually it's pumped up with extra added hormones, and we already have hormone challenges. So try to really go out and purchase more hormone-free, grass-fed, cage-free animal products. Not to mention stay away, of course, from excess sugar, carbonated drink, and alcohol. And I know you women out there, you remember that if you have a glass of red wine that night, you will have more hot flushes, and damn, it has to go too. Yes, certain things have to go. But let's have a look at some effective herbs which can alleviate the hot flushes and also can support the weeks and even the years of menopausal transition. So I like the herb black cohosh, Actaea racemosa or Cimicifuga racemosa, and it has received a lot of scientific attention to bring down the hot flushes. It also suggests now the research that black cohosh does not act like estrogen and has an affinity to sensitive hormone-related tissues like breast and uterus. So there's no worries here really. Research also shows it improves the sleep quality, reduces hormone imbalances which are tied to diabetes and fibroids, and even help women with fertility prior to the menopause. So it's a fantastic herb to just stop your dreaded, drenched wet pajamas during the night. Another one is Vitex agnus castus or chaste tree, which again is a very nice combo here with black cohosh to bring down the hot flushes. Other herbs like red clover are really suggested here, and motherwort, which is called also Leonorus cardiaca, which is from the mint family, and of course dong quai, which is Angelica sinensis. This herb has been used in traditional Chinese medicine, for over 1,200 years for gynecological problems. There's a lot of record behind. Another one I can suggest is ginsengs. Panax ginseng or Panax quinquefolios. Here ginseng really works very well on the general well-being, so the mood symptoms, sleep disturbances, and just giving you a general feeling of I'm back to myself, even if I have hot flushes. Kava I can suggest here too, which is a wonderful herb to bring down more the anxiety-related states. And of course, whatever you do, take evening primrose oil. It really calms and soothes the body. Some women like maca root. You've heard about it maybe. Maca has been used for thousands of years to lower the effects of stress and aging on the body by decreasing the cortisol level. So over here we talk about the fight and flight adrenal stimulation, which is caused by a lot of stress, and it helps to reduce the hot flushes, the low energy, the fatigue, the being exhausted, the restlessness also, and the weight gain, as well as, they say, improves libido and energy. From the Ayurvedic field, I highly recommend ashwagandha. Wonderful herb, particularly when you have thyroid-related problems. Underfunctioning thyroid, can really affect the menopausal symptoms as well. Or during menopause, lots of women produce thyroid imbalances, so ashwagandha is really helpful here. Medicinal mushrooms, rhodiola, as well as of course holy basil. Wonderful beneficial herbs. You may find all these suggested herbs in a herbal combo with different manufacturers, but if you need some help here, contact me at my email health@medicanova.net and I advise you with the best products. Personally, I'm not such a fan to externally slap your progesterone creams on your body, but some women like it, so I stay away from my comments here. But from the therapeutic field of homeopathy, I'm going to give you the gem now. I can wholeheartedly suggest the remedy. Over the counter you get that, so it's not a big deal. Sepia officinalis, which is made from the cuttlefish. And after nearly 30 years in clinical practice, I can reassure you it works. So this remedy picture very much expresses this internal struggle within the woman and her second chakra. You will be amazed now what I'm trying to share with you, because you might even recognize yourself in that. This is usually you don't get on a public video, but I feel strongly about it to share that information with you, so you can help yourself. In generally, the remedy sepia acts on the uterus, the ovaries and the vagina, and of course is mainly a woman's complaints remedy, but can be applied for men as well. It can be used for teenagehood, for PMS, premenstrual tension, heavy menstruation, but particularly during menopause, it's really great for hot flushes. And when you have, emotional and, really physical symptoms, which also can be related to before or during or after pregnancy, right? Which are also hormonal changes. It can be indicated for thrush and also for sagging in a prolapsed uterus, which often happens then after pregnancy. But here we focus now on the menopause and see what we can do. It is an excellent remedy for women who are averse to, they have pain during sexual intercourse, feel exhausted afterwards, and actually don't want it anymore. The libido is down. Women who dislike to be touched, before the period comes on or during menopause as a result of maybe emotional problems. The sepia woman tends to be they adopt a martyr life role, in this situation, and feels on the brink of being overwhelmed by the responsibilities. So as a result, she harbors a deep-seated resentment. Sepia types can be irritable at home. They can be bitchy, right? Extrovert yet in company. So they can be, the high-powered executive, really strong woman. But at home, they just fall apart and be totally exhausted. They love to express this pent-up energy in dancing, in movement. And these are the women you see every day at the gym because they need an outlet. They hate to be contradicted. They can be strongly opinionated. And when unwell, they detest sympathy and they tend to withdraw. Don't touch me, leave me alone. Does it sound familiar? There can be two types of sepia personality. The first is independent, career-minded, and seeks fulfillment from her work. Right? She's the high-powered woman, has 3 kids at home and comes home and juggles. She appears hard, it disguises well her vulnerability. The second persona maybe feels engulfed by the sense of duty as a wife and mother and cannot assert her own needs. So the core essence here, or the main feeling of a sepia woman, is that she's forced to undertake things opposed to her intention, to do what she doesn't want to do. It is a chronic situation in which she has been dominated and not allowed to have her way. So there's a feeling of dependence, right? Dependence on the husband, dependence on the children. She feels that her body is maybe disfigured, and menopausal women feel like that. And unattractive, especially to the opposite sex. So in order to keep him happy, sorry we have to say that, so that she's accepted by him, she has to go along to his wishes and not to what she wants. She feels forced to accept situation against her will. Let's be frank, like making love by the end of the day, having a really exhausting day at work and taking care of her 3 kids, right? She knows she doesn't want to do it, but she does it to keep him happy. You think that has nothing to do with your menopausal symptoms? It has everything to do with your menopausal symptoms. So because of her feeling of not being good enough, deep inside, this makes her miserable and she feels very uncomfortable and unfortunate also. So there's one side in her that says, do what I want to do. I want to be independent. I want to go to the gym. I want to do my thing. I want all the money. I want a high-powered job. So she tries to occupy herself mentally as well as physically. She likes jogging. These are the women who jog all the time. I love jogging, don't get me wrong, but it's like, they need to do that in order to have that outlet. But if she's too independent, she will lose her support and will not be able to keep her husband or children happy. So the dependence may be either emotional or financially. So often she's forced to do things she doesn't want to do. In most cases, she tries to keep her husband and children happy while at the same time pursuing her career. So this is totally exhausting after a while, and it's like juggling life day in and day out. That's really the state of a sepia woman. Sepia is an over-the-counter remedy. You can get it in any health food store which carries homeopathic remedies. And here I suggest the potency 30. It's usually what you get. And if you are out there and really suffering from hot flushes, day and night, particularly drenching hot flushes, where you wake up and you feel like you even chilled afterwards, and you pray in the night, please stop that. Try sepia 30, 1 tablet daily, do it for 3 to 4 weeks and then stop and see if that helps. Of course, if you're in doubt, please contact your healthcare practitioner or contact me. I'm happy to help you. Believe me, sometimes I had husbands coming into my practice saying, I pay you anything, just bring that woman back to her own state. Right? Menopause affects not just the physical symptoms, but your entire life, in particular the relationship to your loved ones. So this over-the-counter remedy will not only alleviate the drenching night sweats, but also will balance and calm your mental and emotional aspects, which I believe here are much more important to deal with than just talking about the hot flushes, for example. So don't you love natural medicine? I mean, there's nothing on the market out there in the allopathic side that can truly heal, such deep-seated aspects with one remedy. So now before I finish this video, of course I want to talk about the males too. particularly with benign prostate enlargement. Here I would like to suggest the herb saw palmetto, a herbal remedy which comes from a type of palm tree. It's been used in traditional medicine for centuries to relieve this, urinary symptoms, getting up in the night and just peeing all the time. It really helps, and particularly with enlarged prostate. But remember that an enlarged prostate has a lot to do with bacterial proliferations, which can be caused by toxins of smoking, because these toxins are deposited in the prostate gland. So maybe you stop smoking. Yes, it's not easy, but go for it. Another useful herb is podarco from the Amazon. It's one of my favorites. I really can recommend here. And my all favorite, it's a must here, is cucurbita pepper oil. This is a fantastic oil which softens and lubricates the prostate, provides essential fatty acid, and is very anti-parasitic in its properties, which often the prostate is also affected too. So we talk about bacteria and we talk about parasites here. So that could be a cause of benign enlargement of prostate gland. It's a must, as I said, and if you don't know where to get it, contact me at my email health@medicanova.net and I advise you how to get the best product. I hope this brief but packed with useful information video of how to heal your second chakra, physical symptom has given you a brief insight that you too can heal your dreaded menopausal symptoms or affected prostate gland with natural and effective therapeutic tools. Next time we will explore the third chakra, which is the seat of Father Sun and Mother Earth, your solar plexus. So to stay updated, subscribe to my channel and have a look at my website medicanova.net at the online academy, where you find amazing online master courses in homeopathy and quantum healing. You can also subscribe to my free monthly newsletters there. And if you are interested in an individual health consultation, contact me at my email health@medicanova.net. Till next time, much love.